What if I told you that somewhere on Earth there's a river that looks like it's flowing with liquid rainbows, a cave where thousands of tiny lights sparkle like a galaxy, and mountains so colourful they seem as if they've been painted by hand? It sounds like something from a fantasy movie, but every place you're about to see is completely real. Our planet is filled with incredible landscapes that challenge everything we think we know about nature. Some have taken millions of years to form, while others continue to amaze scientists and travellers alike. So sit back, relax, and join us as we travel across the globe to discover 10 places on Earth that don't seem real. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the end because our final destination is unlike anything you've ever seen. 10. Zhangye, Danxia, China. Our journey begins in northwestern China. At first glance, these mountains almost don't look natural. Their vibrant bands of red, orange, yellow, and green make them appear as if a giant artist painted the landscape with a massive brush. But this breathtaking scenery wasn't created overnight. Millions of years ago, layers of sandstone and minerals settled beneath ancient rivers and seas. Over time, powerful tectonic movements pushed these layers upward, while wind and rain slowly carved the mountains into the incredible formations we see today. The result is the spectacular Zhangye Danxia, often called China's Rainbow Mountains. If you visit during sunrise or sunset, the changing light makes the colours glow even brighter, transforming the entire landscape into a living masterpiece. It's the perfect reminder that sometimes nature creates beauty beyond anything humans could imagine. 9. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. From the colourful mountains of China, we travel across the world to Bolivia, where the ground becomes a mirror. At first, Salar de Uyuni looks like an endless sea of white salt stretching far beyond the horizon. It's the largest salt flat on Earth, covering more than 10,000 square kilometres. But the real magic begins after it rains. A thin layer of water settles across the salt, creating one of the most incredible natural illusions on the planet. Suddenly, the sky isn't just above you, it's below you too. The reflection is so perfect that the horizon completely disappears. People standing in the distance appear to float through the clouds, making it feel as though gravity has simply vanished. It's hard to believe this place is real until you're standing in the middle of it, and as beautiful as this destination is, our next stop will take us beneath the surface of the Earth, where thousands of tiny lights create a scene that feels straight out of a dream. 8. Waitomo Glowworm Caves, New Zealand. Hidden beneath the green hills of New Zealand lies a world that few people ever get to see. As your boat slowly drifts into the darkness, everything becomes silent. Then little by little, tiny blue lights begin to appear overhead. Within seconds, the cave transforms into what looks like a star-filled night sky. But these aren't stars, they're glowworms, tiny insects found almost exclusively in New Zealand. Each glowworm produces a soft blue light to attract insects into delicate silk threads hanging from the cave ceiling. Alone, one glowworm isn't very impressive, but together they create one of the most magical natural light shows on Earth. The only sounds you'll hear are drops of water echoing through the cave and the gentle movement of the boat. For a few unforgettable minutes, it feels less like you're underground and more like you're drifting through the Milky Way. But if you think these glowing caves are extraordinary, wait until you see an island where the trees look like they belong on another planet. 7. Socotra Island, Yemen. Imagine landing on an island where almost everything around you looks unfamiliar. The trees don't resemble anything you've seen before, the plants seem almost alien. Even the landscape feels like it's from another world. Welcome to Socotra Island. Separated from mainland Africa and the Arabian Peninsula for millions of years, Socotra became a natural laboratory for evolution. Because of this isolation, many of the island's plants and animals exist nowhere else on Earth. The island's most famous resident is the dragonblood tree. With its wide, umbrella-shaped crown, it almost looks as though it was designed for a science fiction movie. Its name comes from the deep red resin that flows from its trunk when it's cut, a substance that has been used for centuries in medicine, dyes, and traditional crafts. Walking through Socotra feels like exploring a forgotten world. Every path reveals strange rock formations, unusual plants, and landscapes that challenge your imagination. It's one of the rare places where photographs barely capture how surreal it feels in person. And speaking of landscapes that seem impossible, our next destination looks like a mountain covered in snow, but surprisingly, it's not snow at all. 6. Pamukkale, Türkiye. From an island that looks like another planet, our journey takes us to a place that looks as though winter has frozen an entire mountainside. But what you're looking at isn't snow, it's stone. Welcome to Pamukkale, which means cotton castle in Turkish. For thousands of years, warm, mineral-rich water has flowed down these hills. As the water cooled, it left behind layers of brilliant white limestone, slowly building the breathtaking terraces we see today. From a distance, it resembles a giant frozen waterfall. Up close, it's even more spectacular. Crystal clear pools reflect the blue sky while warm water gently flows from one terrace to the next. The contrast between the bright white rocks and the turquoise water is almost too perfect to believe. Standing here feels peaceful, almost like nature created its own luxury spa. It's amazing to think that this incredible landscape wasn't built by people, but by tiny drops of water over thousands of years. And while this place is calm and peaceful, our next destination was shaped by one of nature's most powerful forces. 5. Antelope Canyon, USA. Hidden beneath the Arizona desert is a place that remains invisible until you're almost standing on top of it. From the surface, Antelope Canyon doesn't seem particularly special, but once you step inside, everything changes. Towering sandstone walls rise around you, twisting and flowing like waves frozen in time. As sunlight slips through the narrow openings above, beams of golden light dance across the canyon walls. Every few minutes the colors shift. Deep orange becomes glowing gold. Soft red turns into shades of purple and pink. No matter where you look, the canyon feels alive. What's even more incredible is how it was formed. For thousands of years, powerful flash floods rushed through this narrow passage, slowly carving the smooth curves and elegant shapes that attract photographers from around the world today. Nature didn't rush. It took its time, and the result is nothing short of breathtaking. But our next destination has been untouched for so long that scientists still discover new species there today. 4. Mount Roraima. Imagine climbing a mountain so ancient that it existed long before the dinosaurs. That's Mount Roraima. Rising nearly 3 kilometers above the surrounding rainforest, this massive flat-topped mountain looks like a giant stone island floating above the clouds. Its towering cliffs make reaching the summit incredibly difficult. For millions of years, that isolation protected an entire ecosystem from the outside world. Today, scientists continue to discover plants and animals found nowhere else on Earth. The summit is filled with crystal clear streams, unusual rock formations, mysterious pools, and thick mist that drifts across the landscape. Some explorers even describe it as stepping into another world. Many believe Mount Roraima inspired Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's famous novel, The Lost World. Looking around, it's easy to understand why, if dinosaurs still existed anywhere on Earth, this would probably be the place we'd expect to find them. But believe it or not, the final 3 destinations are even more unbelievable. One has been burning for more than 50 years, another is naturally bright pink, and the last one may be the most colourful place on our entire planet. Let's keep exploring. 3. The Door to Hell, Turkmenistan. Some places on Earth are beautiful, others are mysterious, and then there are places that feel almost impossible. Deep within Turkmenistan's vast Karakum Desert lies a giant crater that has been burning continuously for more than 50 years. Locals call it the Door to Hell, and when you see it at night, the name makes perfect sense. The story began in 1971, when Soviet engineers were searching for natural gas. During drilling, the ground suddenly collapsed beneath them, revealing a massive underground gas cavern. To prevent dangerous methane gas from spreading into the atmosphere, they decided to ignite it, believing the fire would burn for only a few days. But it didn't. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Months became years. More than half a century later, the flames are still burning. As darkness falls, the entire crater glows with hundreds of dancing flames, turning the silent desert into one of the most surreal landscapes on Earth. Sometimes nature's most unforgettable wonders are created completely by accident. But if you think fire burning in the middle of the desert is unusual, our next destination looks even more unbelievable, to Lake Hillier, Australia. Imagine looking out of an airplane window and spotting a lake that's the colour of bubble gum. Your first thought would probably be, that has to be edited. But it isn't. Located on Middle Island off the southern coast of Australia, Lake Hillier has fascinated scientists and travellers for decades because of its naturally bright pink colour. What's even stranger is that the water stays pink even after it's collected in a bottle. Researchers believe the colour comes from tiny microorganisms and algae that thrive in the lake's extremely salty water, surrounded by brilliant white sand and the deep blue waters of the Southern Ocean. The contrast is absolutely breathtaking. It almost feels as though nature decided to experiment with colours one day and accidentally created one of the most beautiful lakes on Earth. But incredible as it is, nothing compares to our final destination. 1. Caño Cristales, Colombia. Hidden deep inside Colombia's Serranía de la Macarena National Park flows a river unlike any other on Earth. For most of the year it looks like an ordinary river. But for a few magical months, everything changes as sunlight, water levels, and temperature align perfectly. A rare aquatic plant called Macarenia clavigera bursts into brilliant shades of red. Combined with crystal clear water, golden sand, green moss, and dark volcanic rock, the river transforms into a breathtaking explosion of colour. Red, yellow, green, blue, black. It's so extraordinary that many people call it the River of Five Colours. Standing beside it almost feels unreal. The water is so clear, the colours are so vivid, and the entire landscape seems too beautiful to belong to our world. No filters, no special effects. Just one of the greatest masterpieces nature has ever created. It's the perfect reminder that our planet still holds wonders beyond our imagination. From mountains painted in every colour imaginable, to caves that glow like the night sky, from deserts that burn endlessly, to rivers that look like flowing rainbows. Our world is filled with places that remind us how extraordinary nature truly is. Sometimes the most unbelievable destinations aren't found in science fiction movies. They're right here on Earth, waiting to be discovered. So, which place amazed you the most? Was it the glowing caves of New Zealand, the pink lake in Australia, or the incredible River of Five Colours in Colombia? Tell us your favourite in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe to Secret Horizon. Every week we'll explore hidden places, incredible facts, and amazing stories from around the world. Until our next adventure, keep exploring, keep wondering, and never stop looking beyond the horizon.